everybody. Welcome to Hey, We're Talking, and we don't know what exactly Bob is doing down there. What are you doing, man?
Show prep.
He's not made for everybody to see. This is terrible.
What do you mean?
What are you doing, man?
Gotta get ready for the show.
Are you buffing your iPad with like a cleaner or something?
No, I'm erasing content so I can write.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're writing on your iPad. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah, and I just took a screenshot from about football.
Okay.
And I'm going to write all of our picks to the side of it and post on the Hey We're Talking page.
I gotcha. Okay.
But it'll be posted like a week before the show even comes out.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what's going down. We're recording this show after the fact. By the way, welcome to the program. You just threw me off so much, Bob, with your stupid, like, wiping of your iPad screen.
I didn't realize it until you said something.
I was like, watching your hand is like just rubbing really fast, and I'm like, what is happening?
It looked like he was rolling dice. I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
why do you gotta judge?
It looked terrible.
Gosh.
Okay. Anyway. Oh my gosh. All right, so let's start the show. So this is Hey, We're Talking. That was like a minute and a half of us figuring out what in the world Bob is doing. That is Bob Peel, by the way, the one who's just like not even looking into the camera.
I'm trying to get...
I know. I get it.
You asked me to do something.
I know.
Here we go with the arguing.
I know. Hey, we're arguing again.
Do we even like each other? Who knows?
Sometimes. Anyway,
maybe.
It's Friday, and it's sports ball time. So we're going to do this sports ball segment, and you're going to already know who won the playoff games in the football sports ball, but we're going to talk about it and say who we think is going to win or who we're hoping to see win. We already know who Bob's going to choose, okay? His Bears are literally in the playoffs. We already know who Derek's going to choose. His Cowboys are in the playoffs as well. I'm the only person who gets to choose a team that I have no affiliation with, so it'll be interesting. All right. So before we get going, though, I do want to mention, again, just like I do on each one of these shows, I'd love for you guys to go over to Numa Coffee. Chris is just a really awesome dude. He's from the Cincinnati area, and he roasts his own beans. He roasts them with care. They are fine beans that taste wonderful on your mouth face. And you will enjoy I don't know. You're going to enjoy the coffee. Trust me. It's just good coffee. So go to Numa Coffee, PNEUMA, coffee.com, and get yourself some Numa Coffee. When you go, pick up a couple of bags of this coffee, put in that coupon code HWT. You're going to get 20% off. And it's great. I'm just telling you. If you haven't done it yet, I actually got some decaf coffee for my mom for Christmas because I let her taste the Numa decaf. It's really good decaf coffee if you're a decaf coffee drinker. My mom tasted it and she's like, I've never had decaf coffee taste this good. And I said, hey, it's Numa Coffee. And so she requested specifically for Christmas, Scotty, could you get me some Numa Coffee? And I said,
wow,
yes, I can. So Merry Christmas to Mom. She got her Numa Coffee decaf. Okay, NumaCoffee.com, HWT, 20% off. Let's do the sports ball. All right, Bob, tell us, just pick a game and let's talk about it. Who are you going to pick first?
All right, LA Chargers versus the Baltimore Ravens. 12-4 Chargers, Ravens 10-6.
All right, Derek, I want to hear what you have to say about that game first.
Okay. First of all, it's wild card weekend.
Yep.
For us. This is the 3rd of January that we're recording this.
Yep.
So we're going to have a couple of games on Saturday, a couple of games on Sunday. As we've mentioned, these have already played, but we don't know yet.
Yeah, we have no idea.
We got production deadlines. We got to do this ahead of time. I actually work on those days, so
Bob, you got like papers falling over your camera and stuff. Go ahead.
I know. Yeah. And by the way, Scott, just because we have our teams but just because Bob and I have our teams in the playoffs doesn't mean that we're not going to make responsible picks.
Okay, let's hear it then.
I could pick against my team if I think they're going to lose.
Okay.
But I've seen you play fantasy football. It's I'm a homer. You pick only Detroit Lions.
Well, I get
people,
excited and I think they're going to be good, and I'm like, oh, I got inside info here.
But let me give you a tip, Scott.
No, it doesn't matter. I drink the Kool-Aid. I drink the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so Ravens, Chargers.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Chargers visiting the Ravens,
which is crazy because they're 12-4.
Yeah. That's a strange anomaly that happened in the AFC West because the two best teams in the AFC happen to be in the same division.
Yep.
Only one team can take the 1 seed, and that was the Chefs.
The Chefs.
They got it.
Great googly moogly.
So the Chargers, even though they're like 12-4, they had to take the 5 seed, and they're going against the AFC North champs, the Ravens, in Baltimore. They played a few weeks ago. The Ravens won that game, and I think the Ravens are going to probably continue the same. I think their momentum's going to keep going.
I agree.
I think the Ravens are going to win.
Yeah, prediction on a score?
Oh, geez, we're doing scores
are we going to do
too?
that?
I mean, just for fun, go ahead.
You don't want to?
Okay, let's keep it close. 28-27.
Whoa!
Ravens.
Wow. Man.
I'm not going to, the Phillip Rivers is great.
Yeah.
And I would not be surprised if they win. Do we have the Vegas odds on this? Do we have the line?
No, we should.
No.
We should look it up, but we don't. Let me look it up while we'll let Bob give his take, and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I'm going for the Chargers. Phillip Rivers is having his best his best season of his career. And I think he's just hungry, and I think the team's hungry, and I think they've got, they've got to live up to that 12-4 record. I just think that, I think they're gonna do a good job and win. My score prediction is 32-24, Chargers.
32-24. Okay, so they have, I don't know how to read odds. I'm going to be honest with you.
What does it say? Just tell me what it
says. Los Angeles Chargers at Baltimore -3 is in parentheses, which I'm assuming means they're giving the Baltimore Ravens a 3-point cushion.
Yeah, if the Ravens if it has it by the Ravens, then they're given, then they're 3-point favorites.
Okay.
The Ravens.
Oh, by the way, just to let you guys know a random statistic, 89% of the home teams win.
Yep. Yeah, I think Baltimore's going to win also, especially because...
You got a score? You don't want to do scores. We don't have to.
I will. I don't care.
Games.
I think Baltimore is going to win 24-17. That's my pick. All right, so on Sunday, let's just do the other Sunday game. It's Philadelphia at Chicago.
Yes.
What are you going to... Bob, what are you going to choose? Who are you picking?
Well, I think the Bears are hot right now.
Yeah, I do too.
If you look at my whole bracket, Bears don't beat the Saints coming up, but don't beat the Rams coming up.
Okay.
But I think Chicago's going to win it. They're at home. That place is going to be a freaking madhouse. They haven't seen Philadelphia, both teams, but the Bears defense is unreal right now. And number 1 defense in football. The Eagles haven't seen a defense like this. I don't believe, and I don't think they've got all their stuff together. They slid into the playoffs.
Yeah, they did. So Chicago, by the way, is favored -6 is what the odds are. So they're giving them a 6-point cushion is what it looks like to me. Derek, what are you thinking of the Philadelphia at Chicago game?
This is so interesting because of the Nick Foles situation.
Yeah.
This is the same thing that happened last year. Their stud quarterback, Carson Wentz, gets hurt. Nick Foles, who's proven himself to be just kind of he's a competent backup during the regular season. But at the end of the regular season last year, he took them on a magic run, took them to a Super Bowl win, was the Super Bowl MVP. Nick Foles in the preseason and the beginning of the regular season this year was not great.
Yeah.
But since he's taken over, he has uplifted that team, and they are on a run, and they snuck into the playoffs on the shoulders of Nick Foles. Now, just like a few weeks ago, I'm going to reference the Ravens again. because they were on a 4-game winning streak, but they were all against these bad defenses. But they were like, oh, they haven't seen a defense like the Chargers yet. Well, they handled the Chargers.
Yeah.
So I think I think in my heart the Bears are going to win it, but I can totally see the Eagles going in there and blowing up that defense, doing something. I don't know what Nick Foles does. I don't like the Eagles. I'm a Cowboys fan.
Right.
I don't like the Eagles.
Right.
So,
but I mean, they are the champs too.
They are the champs.
And they just squeaked in. The worst thing that could have happened to anybody in the NFC was the Super Bowl champs. They had no business making it into the playoffs, and they slipped in that last seed.
Yep, they did.
So I'm telling you, they're dangerous.
Of course they are.
Let's give it to. I'll just say it. All right, Eagles. 16-14.
Ooh, and see, this is why I'm with you, Derek. Here's why. I want the Bears to win. Okay, because I love Bob and I want his team to win. Okay, and that's hard because I'm a Lions fan. Okay, I'm supposed to hate the Bears.
Keep it in the division, man.
But I want the Bears to do well because yes, they're in the division. But here's my thing with the Eagles. What's his name? What's your quarterback? Trubisky. Trubisky has done such a great job this year. His coach knows exactly how to use him. He's got that offense just doing exactly what it needs to do, playing to his strengths. The thing that I will say, though, is Jim Schwartz and that Philadelphia defense, they somehow, some way seem to come up with the right game plan to shut people down when it matters. And just like you were saying, Derek, that freaking Nick Foles, man, you cannot count that guy out. Every time I've been hearing all these people talking about that are looking for a quarterback this offseason, they're all like, we got to get Nick Foles. And I'm like, really? He's been a starting QB a couple of places, and he's been straight up trash. But somehow, playing for this guy in Philadelphia, he's done a good job. He's done what he's a legend. He's done what he's needed to do.
He's a legend in Philly right now. I mean, I don't think he's Super Bowl MVP. I don't know what he can do. I mean,
But if he goes somewhere else, I guarantee you he's going to stink. He's not going to be good. He will not be good. It's like Kirk Cousins going to Minnesota. I mean, dude, talk about wasting. Okay, that's a whole other topic.
Who's your pick, Scott?
I'm picking. Oh, this is tough. I'm picking the Bears because my heart is that they will win. And I'm going to say the Bears are going to, I think it's going to be a low score also. I think the Bears are going to win, and it's going to be 15-10. I think there's going to be a safety.
My score was 17-9.
Okay. There you go.
So, okay, moving on. We got to keep this going.
Yeah, go.
Indianapolis Colts.
Oh, man.
At Houston Texans.
Okay, so this one, they actually have, the odds makers are picking, it looks like, see, Derek, I don't know if this is true because everybody that's the home team has the minus next to them in these games.
Yeah, that's because the home team wins 89% of the time.
Okay, well, they're only giving a 1.5 point spread to Houston.
Which means it'll be close.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Again, we were talking about hot teams. Dude, the Colts are straight up on fire right now. They have won 9 of 10 of their last games. They lost their first 6 games, and they had to beat the Titans in Tennessee to get into the playoffs. It was win and you're in. And, dude, their quarterback is just, I mean, he's all healthy now. What's his name? I always forget his name. The Colts.
The Colts. Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck. Yeah. The guy's he's in top form again. That team, if you think about this time last year, they were trying to woo Josh McDaniel away from the Patriots. He signed to become their coach and then dumped them the night before they were going to sign everything. And they ended up settling for Frank Reich, and Frank Reich has done a tremendous job. I'm picking the Colts. And I like the Houston Texans, but I think the Colts are going to win. And I think that one is going to be a high-scoring game, is my prediction. I believe it's going to end up about, I'm going 37-33 is my guess. The Colts.
My turn?
Yes.
Or Bob's turn?
Go ahead. Go.
Okay. Let's not forget that the Houston Texans started the season 0-3.
Yep.
Right?
Similar teams
and
with
then,
that.
And then they are similarly, they've come together and they've been hot. I think they won 9 in a row. They lost a game.
Yep.
Well, they lost a game or two, but they got a great defense. They're very balanced.
Yep.
They're very balanced.
I love them.
All right.
I'm not going to lie. I love the Texans.
I think they lost to Philly in Philadelphia, on and
it was a last-second field goal, if I remember.
It was a last-second field goal, and I think there were a few flags that probably
weird
should
calls.
not have been thrown.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Houston had that game.
Yep.
And they were down like 13 points, and Deshaun Watson brought them back. That dude is awesome. And if you watch the game and just see the moves that dude makes to escape being tackled, to make some amazing throws, and it's in Houston, you're going to have that crowd fired up. They are ready. They've been on the brink for so many years. They stepped back last year. Now they're there. I think they're going to be ready and prepared for the Colts. Now remember the Titans last week. That was Blaine Gabbert.
I know. It was terrible. It was terrible, but
Mariota was hurt. Marcus Mariota, their quarterback's hurt.
He held himself out of the game, by the way. Another topic, but go ahead.
Yeah, so it's like, I mean, it's a good victory. I'm not going to discount the Colts. They are definitely hot, like you said, but also the Texans are hot, and it's home.
Yep.
It's going to be some high scoring. I think Houston's defense is going to come to play. I think they're gonna be ready for Andrew Luck. I say Houston Texans 35-24.
Okay. Bob?
This one's a hard one. Probably out of every single one of these games, this is probably the toughest one, because if you look at points per game, you look at points against, Houston, it's like points per game, Colts got that. Houston has points against. You look at their yards per game. I mean, it's very, very close. Over-under's 48. The spread is -1 for Indianapolis, like you stated.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone back and forth on both of my brackets, but I've settled on Houston winning 38-34.
Wow. Okay. That's cool. I like it.
We all picked very high-scoring games, so that means it's going to be like 2-6.
I know it'll be something stupid like that. All right, this is the one that I'm actually excited about. This is one of the teams that I'm hoping does well. Sorry, Derek, but Seattle at Dallas on Saturday, January 5th. Bob, what are you thinking on that one?
So here's another one that you have to be careful not to just pick a team because your friends are fans of them. So Derek's a fan of the Cowboys. I've got a bunch of friends that are fans of the Seahawks. So this is one of those ones where it's just like, man, it's tough. So you've got Seattle, who's got number 1 in rushing yards per game. You've got they're actually the number 6 in points per game. And you look at a lot of the statistics of the Cowboys, and honestly, they don't even come close to the Seattle statistics.
Right.
Dak Prescott, who's a great quarterback. Wilson, who shows up sometimes and then sometimes he doesn't. So this one's another one of those tough ones, but I do think, real quick, the over-under is 43. Dallas -2 points. However you say that, I don't even know.
They're 2-point favorites.
Yeah,
2-point favorites. But I'm going with the Seahawks.
All right. What's your score?
This will probably be another high-scoring game because both teams give up points. So we'll say. We'll just say 27-24.
Okay, Derek, this is your team, the Cowboys. What do you think?
The Cowboys are my team, and strangely enough, the Seahawks are my son's team.
Ooh, a house divided.
Yeah, my son has been a Seahawks fan for years, and he loves Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Has been with them even in their down days. He's not a bandwagon fan. That's his team. He likes the Cowboys too. He's like, yeah, I like the Cowboys. I like the Texans. They're fine.
Yeah.
He's like, but he's a diehard Seahawks fan. He has jerseys. He's got like a Seahawks cereal bowl. And he's got memorabilia.
He's actually into the Seahawks. This is not just some gimmick. He really likes the Seahawks.
He is not. So he's like, yeah. So
it's gonna be a fun day at your house. I wish we could actually videotape it and watch it. That'd be fun to watch the reactions between dad and son.
We should do something, but I have to wake up early that day to actually watch the game. Because I work that day, but I think it's the afternoon game.
It's
7:15 p.m.
Oh, okay. So I'll
Saturday.
be at work. So I'll be at work. So I'll watch
Bummer.
a little bit of it at work. But yeah, it would be fun to sit down with him and watch it. Hey, yeah, look, the Seahawks, great rushing team.
Yep,
and they've been on a run. The last
nice pun. I like
bit.
That they've been on a great running team that's been on a run,
nice.
huh?
They have been on a run,
yeah.
But I think they've had some stumbles. Didn't they lose to the Niners or the Cardinals or something?
Yeah, the Cardinals they lost to, which is heinous. They're terrible.
Yeah, and the Cowboys are great at home.
You know what? I'm wrong. They didn't lose to the Cardinals, but go ahead.
Yeah, they lost a game recently. I think. This is Dallas's game to lose.
Okay.
All right. I think they should win this. And I would not be surprised if the Seahawks went in there and won. But I think the conditions are right for Dallas to win. I think they're peaking now. If they can control the turnovers, if their linebackers show up again, which have been great this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're the guy they drafted, Van Der Esch. What a beast! Love that guy.
Yep.
I think Dallas is going to win 30-20. I think there's going to be. I think there's going to be field goals. I think there's going to be good plays, but I think it's going to be close for most of the game, and then it'll probably be a last minute defensive play that gets Dallas ahead or something like that and gives them the go ahead touchdown or something like that. So 30-20 Cabbers.
Okay. By the way, just so people know, usually our show's 20 minutes, but we're going into overtime right now. We're in overtime, and that's okay. We're going to finish
sports
this
ball.
out. We're talking sports ball. Seahawks, Cowboys. I'm going with the Seahawks. I am.
Any reason?
Yeah, I think the Seahawks, again, it probably goes back to coaching and Russell Wilson for me. I think that Russell Wilson shows up in big games. You were saying that sometimes he shows up, but man, dude, when it's on the line, it seems like he nails it.
I didn't specify whether it was like a playoff game or not, but just in general, you'll have weeks where Wilson is unreal.
Yeah.
And then, who is this guy? Where's the guy we saw last week? He's just inconsistent.
I think the thing that makes them so dangerous is just like Derek was saying, their running game is ridiculous. I mean, they have the best running team in the league.
Yep.
And it's by committee too. It's not like they have some superstar running back. It's just like, dude, these are like people that are picking up off the pile in some cases. They do have like a new rookie and stuff like that, but they're using some guys that nobody would have thought of to do damage. So that means their offensive line is fantastic. If they're opening up holes for guys, that's I think that offensive line is going to play huge. And Dallas has a really good defensive line too, and good linebackers. So I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think the final score will be, I think that fat kicker Sebastian Janikowski is going to kick the game-winning field goal as time runs out, 31-28. How do you like that?
That's pretty nice.
I like that. So, okay, let's do this really quick. So the people that are waiting for these teams, I'm going to go based on the ones that that 2 out of the 3 of us have chosen. Bob, in the NFC, who are the 2 teams that are waiting? Saints and...
you've got the Saints and the Rams.
Okay, Saints and Rams. So 2 of us picked the Bears to go on, so they would end up playing the Rams, is my guess.
Correct. Yep.
And then 2 of us picked the Seahawks to go forward, so they'd be playing the Saints. Okay, so let's do this really quick, just for fun, so that we're ahead of the curve here. We can change our minds next week. But Saints versus Seahawks, just a quick, no scores. What's your gut? Go ahead, Bob. You go first.
Saints.
Yep. Derek?
I didn't pick that.
No.
But whatever.
I know, but
Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked the Cowboys.
I know, but I explained it all.
Okay,
We're
yeah,
going
I got you.
whoever
Yeah.
gave the most.
Saints.
Yeah, okay, so
Saints.
Saints. Okay, we all picked the Saints. Rams, Bears. Derek.
Bears.
Rams.
Really? I'm picking the Bears too. So 2 of us picked the Bears, all 3 of us picked the Saints. Okay, and then in the AFC we have the Chiefs and New England, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that'll put us Chiefs versus you guys both picked the Texans, so they would play. No, the Ravens would play the Chiefs. Is that correct? No.
Let me go back and look.
It'll be the Texans will play the Chiefs. Okay, so Texans, Chiefs, New England versus the Ravens. I think. We could be wrong, but let's see. So what do you got? Chiefs versus the Texans, Derek. Who you got?
Texans.
Okay. Bob?
Chiefs.
The Chiefs have they've faltered a little bit lately. I think the Texans can jump on that. So
Okay, so I'm just for fun going to pick the Texans. Boom. Texans go. All right, and then we got New England versus the Ravens. Who you got, Bob?
New England.
I'm going to pick New England also, so that screws Derek. It doesn't matter what you think, but who do you think?
New England.
Okay, so then we have New England versus the Texans. Who you got?
New England.
Yep. New England.
Oh, I was going to go Texans. Okay, so then New England in the Super Bowl again. What the crap? All right, then you got Saints versus the Bears. Who you got, Derek?
Saints.
Saints.
Saints versus New England for the Super Bowl.
Saints.
Derek?
Saints.
Saints. There you go.
Yeah, I think Drew Brees, I think this is it, man.
I know.
He knows this is his last opportunity. I don't know how old he is.
He's going to come back, but yeah, he's 39.
I don't know how old he is.
He has a Super Bowl though.
Yeah, he does.
I know, but you don't just settle for one.
No.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
but-
think he is the all-time passing
If it
leader.
ends up being
I mean, he's just
if it ends up being New England versus the Saints in the Super Bowl, it will have such a great storyline because everybody has counted out New England. They are, in most people's minds, they are done. Okay? And it would be just like them to win the whole thing again and shove it up everyone's butts.
Well, the thing is, you cannot predict New England. You can't.
You can't count out Tom Brady ever.
No, that last 2 minutes, man. I just got the goosebumps because that's how ridiculous that guy is. And it's not that it's Tom Brady. It's just the quality of that quarterback. I mean, it's just.
Listen, the
You
Eagles
can control anything.
The Eagles barely hung on in that last 2 minutes, just like you were saying. Brady took them down the field.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the same thing you do with the Bears.
Yep.
The Bears almost beat New England.
Derek, you look like you're going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, here's the bottom line. Top to bottom, the 12 teams that are here in the playoffs, I think all 12 of them, you could make a reasonable argument that they could make it to the Super Bowl and maybe even win.
Yep.
This year probably more than any. Even, from the Saints down to the Eagles.
Yeah.
Because the Eagles are the 6th seed, but they're the reigning champions.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Colts and the Ravens are, the wild card teams, but they're hot. They're making
Texans,
a run.
same thing. Texans, same thing.
Yeah.
You can see like the favorites in the AFC, like the Chiefs and the Chargers. You could say, well, they've kind of cooled off in the last few weeks. They've taken some bad losses. So that's going to open it up for Houston, or it's going to open it up for New England to make a run. So, I mean, any scenario is feasible.
Yeah.
And I think it's exciting. That's why I love the NFL this year.
This year has been a great year for football. Go
well,
ahead.
And that's where the saying comes from. Any given Sunday, or any given Saturday in this case
for
as well.
wild card weekend. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it, because you look, the Bears went and beat the Rams.
Yep.
And then what happened against the 49ers? Or what happened against the Giants?
Yeah.
Or what, and like the bad teams, it's like you could go and beat a really good team and then just stink it up against a bad team.
Yeah, so, this is where everyone's going to find out what these teams are really all about. When these playoff games happen, man, dude, it's going to be fun. This is going to be a great weekend. Now you guys have already seen these games, so we could be full of crap. You might be like, wow, those games really suck. They're stupid. Well, we haven't watched them yet, so get off our back.
Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, this is the extended Sports Ball episode for Friday. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for listening. Have a great weekend, and I'm sure we'll talk about football again next week, because we'll have watched all these and been like, "Was that great or what?" or "That stunk," or
and then we'll see how bad our picks are.
Yeah,
and they'll be on the Hey We're Talking page.
Boom! Today. Awesome. Thanks for listening. We will talk to you guys again soon. We appreciate you. Peace.